Hey Irene, is now a good time? I just wanted to say that I'm really sorry that I had to take off early so suddenly. Was the rest of the meeting okay? Did everything go well? Oh, hey there, Sally. Yeah, I think the rest of the meeting went fine. If you're really curious, though, the notes are up on the shared drive. You might want to give this a quick look over earlier when you get to the office tomorrow. You really are the best, you know that. I really am so grateful for you taking that over for me. I mean, you basically did my work for me. Well, I get that life can be hectic and that sometimes you need to call on others for help. But anyways, I heard that you weren't feeling well. Is everything okay? Right, well, that was the excuse that I gave. I did tell people that I wasn't feeling good so I could leave. So then you're saying that you're not really sick at all? I'm sorry, why did you leave work then? Well, that's because I wanted to leave work early, of course. Wait, what? So you just lied to get out of work today? Are you kidding me? I know, it's bad, but I just had something important that I had to get done today. I didn't have any choice. I had to go. But I knew that having to explain all that to our boss was going to take forever, so I just pretended that I wasn't feeling all that great. I see. Well, did you take care of the business that you had to leave to attend to? Yes, I did. I actually just finished right now, so I'm all done. Well, that's good at least. Okay then, I guess I'll just see you at work tomorrow then. Oh wait, that's not all I had to say to you. I actually have something that I just have to tell you. You have something you have to tell me? Well, what is it? I have to tell you about what it was that I had to leave work to take care of. The truth is that I went to the city courthouse. Well, that makes sense, I guess. The best time to go get stuff done there is probably during the weekend while everyone's at work. That's right, and the thing is that the reason I had to go was because I had to sign papers to officiate my wedding. I wanted to get it all done so that they could be processed by tonight. I just couldn't wait any longer, and I really wanted to do this right now. Hold on a second, you were at the courthouse to sign wedding papers? Is that right? Exactly! The reason why I had to leave work early was so that I could get married. Oh my gosh, I had no idea that you were even engaged. This is amazing news. Congratulations. Is that what you wanted to tell me, that you had gotten married? Yeah, that's what I wanted to tell you. After all, I know that I've come to you with a lot of problems and things that I want to discuss, so I just wanted you to know this. I see. So I take it that you must have married that man that you're always talking to me about then, right? Yeah, he finally decided to propose to me, and I just couldn't wait. So I wanted to go to the courthouse and do our civil ceremony right away. Not only that, but it's also my man's birthday, so it was the perfect day to do this. Hold on a second. So you got married today, which is also your husband's birthday? Are you surprised? I knew that you would be. After all, your husband's birthday is today as well, right? Wow, you sure do have a head for some dates. I didn't even know that you knew anything about my husband. Well, it's not hard to know all that when my husband and your husband are the same person. Wait, what? I don't get it. What do you mean by that? You still haven't figured it out yet, have you? I'm telling you that the man I was always going to ask you advice about, the man who I am now married to, is none other than your husband. Wait, I'm still not following here. Seriously, what are you talking about? Let me put this simply for you. Your husband and I were having an affair behind your back. It's pretty funny when you think about it. But whenever I've talked about my boyfriend, the nights we've spent together, the trips we've gone on, everything was always about things I was doing with and to your husband. But now that you know the truth, I really just can't help but laugh. It really is so funny that it took me telling you for you to figure it out. You can't be serious, right? Are you really having an affair with my husband? I have said pretty much that in at least 3 different ways now. But you know, affair makes it sound so dirty. The truth is that Jerry and I love each other, and now I'm his wife. Wait a second. So you're telling me that you went to the court to get married today, and the man who signed those papers as your husband was my husband, Jerry? That's exactly what I'm saying. Are you finally starting to put it all together now? But that can't be. I mean, Jerry and I aren't even divorced, unless you're also telling me... That's right, you've already been divorced, and you didn't even know he did it 3 days ago. You mean that Jerry divorced me 3 days ago? But I don't remember ever signing or agreeing to anything at all. I don't get it. Oh, you don't need to worry about that. You see, your husband asked me to look at examples of your handwriting, and so I just forged your signature. And then Jerry and I went to the courthouse together to submit those papers. But that's illegal. Sally, you're admitting to a crime right now. You realize that, right? A crime? What are you talking about? I don't get how anything that helps two star-crossed lovers like us marry each other could ever be a crime. We were only doing what we had to do before we could get married, you see? I don't know what to say right now. Well, I certainly hope that you're not going to try and put up a fight about this. It's too late anyways. What's done is done. But, I mean, to think that Jerry would actually cheat on me with you? Well, he didn't cheat on you. He was only sleeping with his future wife before I became his wife. So I think you need to realize that he is all mine and no one wants you. You two are divorced now and you're nothing to him. So I want you to pack up your things so that you can leave your house and make room for me. I'm sorry, you're telling me to move out of my own house? Well, no duh. I know that you and Jerry live together in that huge place, right? That house has got to be at least $1 million. I told Jerry that I want to live there with him. I've already started packing my bags. The only thing that's left is for you to move out. And once I move in, I'm finally going to quit my job and become a housewife. Is that really your plan? You're going to quit just like that? Have you even told anyone from the office that's what you're doing? I was actually going to tell the people who needed to know after I finished talking with you. But I just needed to make sure that you knew this had all already happened and that there would be no point in fighting it. So after work, why don't you just go home, pack up your things, and get out of my husband's life? Anyways, Jerry and I have a little dinner date to celebrate our getting married. I've got to go now. Wait, what? You can't just say all of that and then just run off without any further explanation. That's crazy. Jerry, what in the world is going on right now, huh? Did you seriously divorce me and get married to another woman? You realize that we were still in the middle of working a lot of things out, weren't we?
Well, I figured that this was just the easier way to do things. Besides, I didn't think you'd go along with the divorce if I brought it up.
That's because I only found out that you were cheating on me a week ago. We were still in the middle of talking about what we were going to do. But I guess you already know what you wanted to do since you went and got us divorced. What in the world were you thinking doing that, huh?
Well, I thought that it was the only way I'd be able to marry Sally. Don't you get it? I mean, did you really think that I would choose staying with you when I have a young, pretty thing like Sally waiting for me instead? Why would I do that to myself? I tried explaining that I wanted to end things, but you just weren't having it.
You really have some nerve, do you know that?
Well, you can only blame yourself. I told you about how I wanted to marry a woman who was a housewife. You were the one who said that you wanted to keep working and you didn't want to be cooped up in the house.
And just how do you think we're supposed to pay off our mortgage with a single income? Don't you realize that we can't afford me to quit my job and stay at home? I mean, you certainly don't make enough to keep up with all the payments on different things that we have to make. Why would you just go and do this?
Oh, don't worry about the mortgage. I already paid it all off. That was around the time when I asked you if you wanted to quit your job and become a housewife instead.
You really think that that was the only reason we had to worry about money? I know how much of a big spender you are. There is just no way we could ever afford me to quit my job.
See, there you go again. Not listening to me. I'm telling you that you can quit your job and let me take care of you. And you're just shooting me down right away without even thinking about it. So like I said, you really have no one to blame but yourself for this one. How can I feel that you really love me if this is the way that you're acting?
What does any of this have to do with how I love you?
Well, if you really love me, then you just do whatever I said when I said it, right?
You can't be serious about that, right? Please tell me that that's supposed to be some kind of bad joke.
Yeah, you're just proving my point, you know? Anyways, it doesn't matter now, because we're divorced. And I have a new wife as of today, so I'm afraid that you can't stay at the house any longer. I want you to pack up your bags and leave, Irene.
Are you kidding me? You know that you can't just kick me out, right?
Well, I told you last week that I wanted to get a divorce. I told you I wanted to marry someone else.
I know exactly what you were doing. I know that you wanted to divorce me just so that you could marry this other woman. But we still had so much to talk about. We weren't through discussing alimony, lawsuits for the affair, how to split our assets, all of that stuff.
You already know who it is that I'm married to now, right?
That wasn't even on the list of things that I wanted to talk with you about.
Well, the point is that I put up the money for this house and I want to live with the person I love. I just don't need you anymore.
So you're telling me that you really love Sally? So much so that you're willing to just kick me to the curb like this? That's how badly you want to be living together with Sally?
Yeah, does the factor of divorce not tell you all that you need to know? Don't talk to me like we're married anymore.
Well, fine then. I guess since you both want this so bad, there's really no point in arguing anymore.
It's more than just a want for this. It's a need. Our hearts are tied to one another, and that's why we can't live without each other. We're soulmates. Don't you get that? We're always going to end up together because that's what the universe wants for us. We're only following the universe's plans for us by getting rid of anything in our lives that might keep us apart. And that includes you. Now that I've met Sally, I know that there's nothing else I need. And with that, I say goodbye.
Wait, what? You're just going to quit talking to me just like that? We still have things that we need to discuss, Jerry. Hey, answer me right now. I'm serious. Hey there, Irene. I just wanted to say good work yesterday. I called the office yesterday and I found out that you also ended up taking some time off, didn't you? Don't tell me that you had to use some of your paid time off to pack up all your things just for me. You have got some nerve coming back to talk to me after you told me what you were doing with my husband. Well, I really am sorry that things had to end up the way they are. I'm sure that you're going through a lot of difficult emotions right now, but that better not slow you down while you're moving out. You are clearing out a space for me at Jerry's house, right? Have my bags already arrived there? Your bags? What are you talking about? Have you already started sending your stuff over? Haven't you heard? I'm going to be moving into that house from today. Jerry and I want to start living together as soon as possible. So that's why you need to keep packing up your things. Don't keep me waiting too long. Wait a second. You mean that you were going to move into this house from today? Well, of course I was. Once you move out, there's really no need to wait any longer, is there? That's why I thought you'd be done by now. Didn't I tell you that that house was my dream house? I've always wanted to live in a huge place like that, and being there with Jerry is just going to make it perfect. I see. Well, you know, even though I'm fond of the house, I don't think that Jerry wants to give it up. But the house is worth so much more than when we first bought it, you know? Well, I'm just so excited to be living in my dream house with my dream man, tending to my garden while he's at work and then making sure dinner's ready before he gets home. It's going to be simply amazing. But first, you have to move out of there so that I can move in. Just keep an eye out for my luggage when it gets there and bring it into the house for me. I don't need you to do anything else for me after that. You really think that you can just boss me around like this? You must really think that I'm going to just get up and leave. I don't really know what you think because I already know what's going to happen. You and Jerry are divorced. You shouldn't be living together. You need to just get your things and go. That way I can finally be with my soulmate for the rest of my life. Right. Well, the only problem there is that I own this house. Wait, what? What do you mean by that? Jerry told me about how he was the one paying for the house, so that means that it's his house, right? I don't know what else to say except that it's my name on the mortgage. But that can't be right. That's my dream house. You can't be the real owner. I'm not sure what you've heard about the house from Jerry, but the house has always belonged to me since we moved in there. You have to be lying to me. Jerry said that he was the one who paid the loan. Well, the loan is certainly paid off, but I was the one who paid it all. But that can't be right. It is. I paid for the house, the utilities, the insurance, everything. I can show you some of the bank statements I have that prove it all. Please tell me that this is some kind of bad joke or something. You know, if you don't believe me, then that's really on you, but I'm just trying to tell you the truth. I own the house. But Jerry told me that the house cost over $1 million, and if you paid for everything, then just where did you get that money from? Oh, come on, you don't really think that I could afford to have all that money lent to me with our salaries? I don't understand. How did you get all of that money in the first place then? How did you afford to get a loan large enough to cover all that? My dad took out the loan for me, if you must know. Wait a second, you mean you asked your dad for help? That's right, my dad owns his own business, so he has quite a bit of capital and has access to those kinds of loans. So I asked my dad if he could co-sign my loan, and in the end, he ended up accepting liability for about 4/5, while I took on 1/5 of the total amount. But then because my dad paid off the loan, I was basically just repaying my dad with no interest. So when I finished paying for the house, I really just finished paying my dad back. But then, doesn't that mean that the house would actually belong to your dad in that case? Well, my dad actually passed away last year, but before he did, he changed the name on the deed to me and I inherited the land. But then, how did Jerry end up thinking that the house was his? You two started seeing each other about a year ago now, right? I think that Jerry was so obsessed with his little love affair that he didn't even bother to check about the process. He was always too busy lying about being busy with work to check that his name had been put on the deed as well. When my dad died, he told me to handle everything by myself, and so I did. So then, he didn't even make sure that his name was on the deed? That's right. So not only did I end up paying for the house, but I also have legally and properly inherited it. But then, if you're the real owner of the house, then that means that I won't be living there. No, it means neither you nor Jerry is going to be living here, since Jerry has no right to stay here now that we're divorced. So I suppose you two will just have to find somewhere else to live. But you can't do this to me. I already sent my bags over there. Right, well, when the delivery person comes, I'll just refuse to sign for the packages. Don't worry. But if you don't pick up all my things, then what's going to happen to them? Won't they get sent back to me or something? I don't know. Why don't you go call Jerry and ask him to figure it out for you? I have to go and call my lawyer to tell them that I'll be pressing charges for the affair you two were having. Although I guess since I imagine you've already canceled your lease and are all packed up, you probably don't have a place to live anymore. So I guess I should have my lawyer send his letter to your parents? You want to send the letter saying that you're suing me to my parents? Why on earth would you do that? Well, don't you think they should know about the crimes you committed? And I'm not just talking about the cheating, you also impersonated me by forging my signature. Oh, come on, you're not really upset about that, are you? I told Jerry that I would divorce him when we worked out all the details of how it would happen. Instead, you and him snuck around and ended our marriage out of convenience for yourselves. And if you think that I'm going to take that kind of identity theft lightly, then you're dead wrong. Anyways, I'll go ahead and tell my lawyer to forward those letters to your parents' house. After that, the delivery person with Sally's bags showed up. I followed through on what I said and refused to sign for them. I heard that Sally and Jerry had to spend 2 hours trying to collect their bags from the mailroom. I heard that Sally did end up moving back in with her parents, but when they found out what she had done and the trouble she was in, they kicked her out before a week had even passed. Now, Sally and Jerry lived together in a cramped apartment. They couldn't afford anything more since their jobs found out about what happened. They were both severely demoted. The day Jerry moved out of my house, I took some of my dad's favorite snacks and went to go visit his grave, where I told him all about what happened to me.
Hey there, Hilda. It's been a while, hasn't it?
Oh, hey, Michelle. Yeah, I think the last time we saw each other was 2 years ago at the school reunion.
Well, you should know that I've seen you plenty of times since then.
Oh, really? Well, you should have said something to me. I would have loved to catch up. Does that mean that you still live here now? I thought you still lived back home.
No, I finally moved away when I learned there wasn't anyone worth marrying there. But I have noticed you walking around town clinging to someone's arm. Why didn't you tell me that you got married?
Sorry, what do you mean? I'm not following you.
Oh, come on. There's no point in playing stupid with me. I know that you're married, and I find it unacceptable.
Hold on a second. Let's set aside marriage entirely. Why would it even matter to you whether or not I was?
Oh, come on. Can you really not guess at all why I might care? You remember how much better looking I was than you in school, right? I was prom queen, and all of the boys wanted to have me back then.
Right. I guess now that you mention it, I do remember that you were quite popular back then.
No duh, I was popular. And I should have been the first one out of us to get married. But all the good boys back home didn't want anything to do with me after high school. Not only that, but it was clear that everyone there was way beneath me anyways.
Well, I guess it's good to know that you're still as confident as ever, Michelle. You certainly did have a high opinion of yourself back in high school, too, as I seem to recall.
Well, anyways, I think that I owe you an apology of sorts.
Sorry, you want to apologize to me. I'm not sure what you would even say sorry for.
Oh, I just wanted to say that I'm sorry for stealing your husband. In fact, I know that he picked you up from the maternity clinic, right? I guess that means that you two are having a baby soon. But I'm still not going to let you get away with getting married before. And so, that's why I stole your husband from you. So don't worry, I did reach out, just not to you.
I'm sorry, I really just have no idea what you're talking about.
Well, I'll tell you. I was talking to your husband and told him that he should leave his wife and marry me instead. And that's why I want to apologize to you.
Michelle, I'm sorry, but I still just am not following you at all. What husband are you talking about?
Why are you still playing dumb? I know all about your handsome husband that you were trying to hide from me. You clearly weren't going to introduce him to me, so I had to take matters into my own hands. But don't you worry. Things went just fine for me, and now he's all mine. I'll even be sure to pay you off for our affair. So how about you just sign the divorce papers and hand them over already?
Look, Michelle, I only have a boyfriend, okay? I'm not married.
What are you talking about? Of course you have a husband! Stop trying to lie to me. You know that I've been able to steal your men from you ever since we were in school together. Just accept the fact that I've done it again. And also accept that you'll have to raise that baby of yours all by yourself.
Okay, well, I think I understand what it is that you're trying to tell me with all of this. But I'm not sure that I actually understand what any of it means. But if I have this straight, you're telling me that you've started an affair with a man who you know is married, and that you want to marry this man, and that's why you've told him to divorce his wife for you. And then you messaged me to tell me all of this because you think this man is my husband.
That's what I've been telling you this whole time.
Right. I see. Well, I don't know how else to tell you this, but I'm not pregnant.
Wait, what? What do you mean that you're not pregnant?
Not only am I not pregnant, but I'm not even married. Again, I have a boyfriend, but I don't have a husband.
Oh, come on. When are you finally going to stop with all of these lies? You just can't accept the fact that I've beaten you and that your husband chose me over you.
No, I really am telling you the truth right now. I did go to a maternity clinic with a guy. But tell me, was the guy you saw me with about 6 feet tall with a mole under his right eye?
Yes, that's exactly the guy that I saw you with. And he's your husband. He is your husband, isn't he?
Now that man is actually just the director of the maternity clinic, which is where I just so happen to work.
Hold on a second. That guy is just the clinic director.
That's right. And that guy is actually married, but he's not married to me. So I really don't know how else to say this, but I think there's been a big misunderstanding here.
No, this can't be happening. How can that guy not be your husband?
Well, he's not my husband because we're not married. Because, again, I'm not married.
Well then, that means that I've won. I've been right this whole time. I was always going to get married before you. Not only that, but I'm going to get married to a doctor who owns his own practice. Oh, this is way better than I could have hoped for. I get to be married before you, and to a doctor of all people. It might not have been the way I originally planned it, but it all worked out in the end.
Yeah, I guess you really are going to get married before me, aren't you?
That's right. But at least you can find solace in the fact that you didn't get abandoned by your man.
I mean, I think that you might have more things to worry about than just floating to me.
And why is that? Because I had to have an affair before this man would have married me? Who cares about having to pay for anything when I'm going to be with a doctor? I was already planning on paying you off for the affair with who I thought was your husband, so this is nothing to me. And now, I'm going to be the happiest woman in the world and never have to work another day in my life.
Uh-huh. Well, good luck with all of that, I guess. I was actually going to quit my job at the clinic at the end of the month anyways. I was going to try and find work in another place, so I don't think that you'll be seeing much more of me.
Oh no, are you being serious? That really is too bad. Ha ha ha. I might have let you try and squeeze my husband for some more pay or something if you had just been a little nicer to me.
Actually, I think that this is just all the more reason to leave my job. I don't want to get involved in this any more than I already have. So again, good luck with the marriage, I guess?
Hey there, Hilda. I was just wondering how your new job's going. Have you basically settled in?
There has been a lot of paperwork since I started here, but I have to say that I prefer it to the old place. Not to mention the raise that I got for working here.
Well, there you go. Sounds like things are going well for you. Actually, kinda wanted to talk to you about something.
Is it something that we should talk about over the phone?
No, it's not that, but I do have to send you a few photos that I'd like you to look at.
Well, that's fine with me, but is everything okay?
Well, you know how we've been. Going out for about 6 months now. I thought that we should talk. I've hidden this from you for a while, but I think you should know that my parents are really rich.
Oh, really? Well, I appreciate the honesty with me.
I mean like tens of millions in assets rich. That and I actually work at the company that my dad manages. Take over the company after he steps down.
Wow, that's a lot of money. I was not expecting this. Although, you know what? It does explain some of the fancy brands you own and the nice watches you're always wearing.
Well, my dad always told me to always dress up or, at the very least, put on a nice watch. But that's not the only thing. You see, the reason I didn't tell you any of this is because my parents are scared that a woman would take advantage of me for my family's money. So that's why I lied about who I really was to you for all this time.
I can see that now. Oh, but it's not like we bonded over material things. We just had a lot in common.
I know. And that's exactly why I know that I can trust you. You never even once asked for me to pick up a bell. You're a hardworking nurse who makes her own through the world, and I respect it a lot.
Well, thank you. That really does mean a lot from you now that I know the truth.
But anyways, I know that we also both had in our profiles that we were looking for something long-term, right?
Yes, but what makes you say that?
Well, that's one of the condos that my dad owns. Costs about $2 million, but he told me that he's willing to let us move into there.
This is, this is a lot to take in.
There's still more. Thing is, that my dad is quite sick. The doctors have only given a year, 2 at most, to live. So, basically what that means is that as his only son, I'm actually on the verge of taking over the company and all of his assets. I know this was going to happen one day, but it's never ever felt this real before. And the truth is that I need someone that I can trust with all of this, and that's why I'm saying all of this to you now.
Well, I really appreciate you talking to me about all of this. I mean, I'm shocked, but glad it's all out in the open.
Then I have one more thing to tell you, and I wouldn't be mentioning this if I really didn't think you might be the one. But the other day, my dad gave me my inheritance early. He thought it would make things easier on the taxes when it came to, him passing.
Right, I've heard that you get quite a bit taken out for inheritance tax.
Yeah, but if he did it this way, he wouldn't have had to pay a cent. All I have to do is pay a cool $1 million now, and I'll get all the inheritance tax-free.
I guess so. I don't really know as many details about that.
Well, the amount of money I got was in the millions, although because of the legal process, I probably won't be actually getting the money for another 6 months or so.
Wow. Well, look, Hank, I'm glad that you've told me about this, but those are numbers that I never even dreamed of having in cash.
I know, but here's what I want to ask you. Do you think I could borrow some money from you until I get my inheritance?
Wait, what? You want to borrow money from me?
Well, the thing is that until all these processes can take place, I still am just me. Besides, I'm going to need some money for the legal forms for all this. Well, I know that you make quite a bit as a nurse, right? Please, I promise that I'll pay you back in 6 months. This is for our future.
But I don't get it. Why do you need to borrow money from me to do this? But that's just it. I don't understand something like this. I don't really understand. Can I just ask you a couple of questions first?
What more do you need to know? I've already told you everything.
Well, you're telling me that your dad is sick and only has, at most, a couple of years to live, right?
That's right. It's something that no amount of money or doctors can cure.
Okay, well, do you know the name of what it is that your dad has?
What do you mean? Why would that matter?
Well, it's just that I am a nurse, and I do know a thing or two about diseases. So I was just curious about what it is that your dad has.
Oh, right. I actually don't know the name or anything like that, but I can ask my dad.
Of course. I only want to help. I guess you can call it my nurse's instinct.
No. I really don't think that's going to be necessary. I just need a little money to tide me over until my dad, until he's gone.
But you said that you were going to have to pay $1 million to somehow cancel out your taxes? I'm sorry, but I just don't have that kind of money.
Oh, I see. Well, okay. Maybe we should talk more about this in person. I'll see you later.
Hey there, Hilda. It's been a while.
And just when I thought I'd gotten rid of you.
Oh, well, I need to apologize to you.
Apologize to me for what?
I did it again. I stole another one.
Another one? What are you talking about? You stole something?
That's right. I stole your husband. I actually saw you two going on a date with each other about a year ago, and I remembered what you told me, that you had a boyfriend but weren't married. So anyways, I struck up a conversation with him after you'd got home for the night.
Oh, you mean you did that again?
And, well, we just hit it off.
I feel like I'm having some serious deja vu here.
I also heard that he's going to be the heir to millions any day now from his father. That's why I stole him from you. I know I messed up last time. This time it is your husband. But now all of his money is going to be mine.
I'm still not married yet, Michelle.
What? But he told me you two were married.
I actually did have a boyfriend about a year ago, but I broke up with him, and now I'm completely single.
Wait a second. You can't be serious about this. He told me that he was married to you, and that if he left you for me, that he'd have to pay when you sued him for his affair with me. And so he told me that before anything could happen and before he could get his money, he would need me to give him $500,000.
You mean that he told you all of that?
That's right. He told me everything.
And he told you about his sick dad too, I bet.
I knew it. I knew that he was your husband all along.
No, I'm afraid you're wrong about that as well. That man is my ex-boyfriend, and him and I broke up because about a year ago he started to stink of a scam.
A scam? What do you mean? I don't understand.
He told me about how he was so close to inheriting his father's business and wealth and assets and everything. He even promised me an amazing condo. He said that it'd only be a matter of time, 6 months at the most. But for some reason or another, he just needed to borrow $1 million from me. He told me that he couldn't go to his parents and they didn't have the money for him, and that he would need the money to avoid paying taxes on his inheritance. But when I asked him about his sick dad, he couldn't even tell me what it was that his dad was sick with. And when I asked him about the condo, he couldn't give me an address either. And he still couldn't give me a good reason for what it was that he needed so much money from me for. I started to get really suspicious, and so I decided to break things off with him.
But you mean, the money that he asked for, the $500,000 to break up with, was... But he told me that he was going to pay me back for all of that and more as soon as he got his dad's money by being free of you. Are you telling me that all of that was just a scam that he was running on me?
You didn't actually give him that much money, did you?
Of course I did. I was about to be rich. The whole reason I texted you in the first place was that I could try and rub it in your face, remember? He told me that if I gave him that money that it would be enough to settle the lawsuit that you'd file against him.
Well, try asking Hank yourself.
Hey, Hilda. He's not picking up my calls. What am I supposed to do? Where do you think he's gone?
He's probably run far, far away with all of your money by now.
But that can't be. That wasn't just from my savings. I took out a huge loan to be able to give him all that money. He told me that he'd be able to repay me back quickly. He told me to think of it as a tiny investment for a big payout.
I mean, I guess it was a big payout for him if you think about it. This is the second time that you've done this. Whatever happened with my old boss anyways?
Well, his wife didn't want to divorce and neither did he. But she did sue us both for the affair and then I was told to never come around again.
Wow. Well, it sounds like you got the short end of the stick there.
And now you're telling me that I just had the money stolen from me again? But what about all the fancy cars that he drove? The clothes, the watch, everything. He looked totally rich.
Yeah, I mean, the more you think about it, the more it was always too good to be true.
But how could he trick me like that? I thought that we really had something. I thought that I'd finally stolen your husband away from you.
You really haven't changed at all, you know that?
But what am I supposed to do? I won't be able to pay a loan that huge. You have lots of savings, right? Lend me some money.
No, this is just ridiculous. You need to stop this and look at what you've done. I haven't stolen anything from you, and I'm not responsible for your sick bullying trip.
But please, 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 please. You have to help me.
I don't have to do anything. In fact, it sounds like you have much more serious things to be thinking about than coming to beg from me. After that, I blocked Michelle on everything. I actually heard at the class reunion where I had seen Michelle at that she borrowed money from a lot of different people. Apparently, she didn't pay many of them back and she slowly lost all her friends. So I'm sure that when she had to go to the police and describe what had happened to her, that it was quite the twist of fate for her. I have no idea at all what happened to her, or if she ever got out of her jam. If she did, I only hope it was through getting back at Hank somehow. But it really is none of my business.
Listen to this. Listen to this. I'm going to be getting married now. I plan to have a wedding this year sometime, so make sure that you're able to come out and see it. Congratulations, Gabby. Of course I'll make sure to set some time aside to be there at your wedding. Just make sure you send me the date when you have the chance, and I'll mark it on my calendar. I'm sure this is your first time ever being invited out to one of your friends' weddings before, right? You've always been such a gloomy person with only me as your friend, right? Consider it a privilege to be getting invited out to my wedding now. And you can thank me for giving you such a privilege by gifting me a really generous present. I suppose this is my first time ever being invited out to a friend's wedding before. I'll be a bit nervous about it, but I'll do my best to celebrate you and your big occasion. I'll be waiting for your invitation to come in the mail. Wow! So this really is your first time then? With all the friends I have, I think I've been invited out to at least 10 different weddings. And 3 of them I've been bridesmaids for. What? You've been to that many weddings now? And have had the chance of being a bridesmaid 3 times? Since you haven't even been to one yet, that means you don't know how to RSVP or anything like that, do you? Well, allow me to teach you a few things so that you don't come looking like an idiot. As a friend of mine, you have to make sure to come with a $5,000 gift to me. $5,000? Well, first of all, I know how to RSVP for things like a wedding. But I've never heard of anyone having to give that much to their friend on their wedding day. And that's because you are a gloomy person with no other friends besides me. You have no idea what kinds of gifts you're supposed to be giving. I've never been invited out to a friend's wedding before, but I have gone to one of my cousin's weddings before. There I learned that even family didn't have to give all that much in terms of gifts. Maybe somewhere close to $500 worth at the most. So when it comes to friends, somewhere between $200 to $300 should be enough, right? When it comes to normal friends, that amount is totally fine, but I'm different. Huh? To you, I'm your one and only super important friend, right? So when it comes to something like your one and only super important friend's wedding, you should be willing to give me close to $5,000 as a gift. You happen to know nothing at all, and if it weren't for me, you'd be completely screwed. So you expect me to bring you $5,000? I've never heard about anything like that. Huh? Why do you keep talking back to me like that? If you're going to continue acting like a penny pincher, then I'm going to take my invitation back. What? Besides me, there are no other friends that will be inviting you out to their wedding. And if you are to ever get married in the future, I won't be coming to your wedding. Stop talking like that, Gabby. Then stop talking back to me like that and get ready to come out to my wedding. And make sure to RSVP properly for it and bring what I've asked. I am the only person willing to invite a gloomy person like you to come out to my wedding, after all.
Hello, and nice to meet you. This is Gabby's fiance, Eddie. And you are her friend, Lacey, right?
Nice to meet you, Eddie. This would be Lacey. I'm really looking forward to your guys' wedding coming up here.
Thank you. Actually, regarding that wedding we have coming up, there is something I'd like to ask from you. Do you have a minute to talk with me about it right now?
You have something to ask from me?
I want to surprise Gabby with a really nice video at our wedding. And in order to do that, I'd like your help with some of it. And that is why I got into touch with you today. I feel a little bad coming out of nowhere like this and asking you to do me a favor.
Oh, a surprise video would be wonderful for her. Oh, if there's something you think that I could help with, I'd be glad to.
Hearing you say that to me makes me a whole lot more confident now. I have been thinking of some things that I'd like to have in the video for her. Gabby happens to have a lot of friends, but there were too many for her to invite to the wedding, so some had to be left out. So those friends that aren't able to come, I like to have messages recorded from them and put into the video.
That's going to be a wonderful gift and surprise for her.
I know that it would probably be better for me to go each and every one of those friends and ask this from them, but I haven't been able to get all their numbers. And having to go all over social media asking her friends on there would take even more time to do. Actually, Gabby doesn't really use any social media to begin with, so...
Now that you say it, that makes sense. I only know her phone number and nothing else.
I believe that the only person I can really ask to do this for me who knows all her friends is you, Lacey. So could you please help me out there by going and chatting with all her friends for me? As a friend of hers, you happen to know almost all of her friends, right?
Actually, Eddie, I'm a pretty introverted person, and when it comes to friends, the only one I have is Gabby. When she came to the school I was at in high school, she was the first friend I ever made and her first friend in the school. But when she and I went to different colleges, we stopped talking for a little while. So I'm not really sure who all she's friends with at the moment.
Is that right?
But as a friend of hers, I'll try my best. Having to deal with the wedding itself is already a challenging thing, so you can leave a lot of the video up to me.
Thank you, Lacey. Then please, do your best with that surprise video and all the messages in it for me. And of course, try your best not to let Gabby find out about it.
Go home right now. I want you out of here before this wedding gets going. Hey, what the hell is this about, Gabby? You were the one that invited me to be here today, so why is there no seating available for me here at the moment? And why was I taken and told to leave this wedding venue? Well, I'm really disappointed in what I did. I made a small mistake with the number of guests I invited here to my wedding, and that led to there being not enough seating here today. Then why not have them bring out one more seat for me to sit near the back? It's not as simple as you think, though. If I do that, then the balance in this place will be off. And having to ask for catering to bring enough food for one extra person would also be tough. Thinking about it, just kicking a person out of my wedding is a lot faster than trying to figure something else out. And you decided to have me kicked out? Because today is supposed to be a very bright and beautiful wedding, and I want to make sure I have all the most beautiful and smiling people here with me today. So the most basic, I should actually say the most gloomy person here has to go. No way! I've been looking forward to coming to your wedding today for so long now. I wanted to come and celebrate my important friend's wedding, and I made sure to buy myself a really cute dress for today as well. No matter how you style yourself up, you'll always be a gloomy person deep down. That same gloomy character that you had all the way back in high school still comes out all the time. That's so mean, Gabby. This is how you're going to treat one of your friends who came all the way out here for you today? And you're not even going to apologize for doing it? I'm sorry. Your one and only friend's wedding of all things, and I'm kicking you out of it. But even if this is such a terrible thing for you, I still happen to have plenty of friends coming to celebrate with me today. Kicking you out won't be a problem for me at all. I see. To me, I viewed you as a really close and kind friend of mine. But to you, I'm nothing more than another person you happen to know, huh? So please, hurry up and go home already. This wedding is going to start up here really soon. Understood. Oh, one other thing. What happened here today is to stay between you and I, all right? If everyone were to find out that I had to kick out a guest of mine over a mistake I made, I'd be really embarrassed. You tell everyone that asks why you're leaving that you came here uninvited, and that's why you're having to leave now. Excuse me? That would make the most sense to everyone, right? I never asked for a gloomy woman to be here today. I will not have someone come into my wedding today acting like they're my friend when they weren't even invited here in the first place. All right, I'm going home right now. Get lost, you loser. You are not meant to be a part of my bright and beautiful wedding today. But you did come all the way out here, so make sure to leave your gift for me up front before you go. You may be gloomy, but you're still a serious person, so make sure to leave me that $5,000 I asked for. You think I'm leaving anything for you? I am not leaving anything I bought as a gift for you today with you after you just said those things about me. And I sure won't be giving any of this money to those extras now. What? Now, like you were asking me to do, I'm heading home. Enjoy your wedding with whoever remains after we're gone, because I'm telling you right now that most of your guests aren't staying. Wait right there! What the hell do you mean when you just said extras? Stop talking like a madman, please. Why are you getting all worked up now? And I wasn't saying anything crazy there, just the truth, right? All of those people you had sitting there ready to watch your wedding today are all strangers, right? They're all extras you got together for your wedding today. Why the hell do you know about that? And with a reaction like that, you've now confirmed it. Where the hell did you hear about that? What else do you know about this? Tell me everything you know right now. Actually, your fiancé, Eddie, he asked me to make a surprise video that we'd play for you at the wedding today. He told me that due to there not being a lot of space, a ton of your friends couldn't be invited. So he asked me to get in touch with all those friends that couldn't come and record some messages from them. A surprise video for me? So I got to work reaching out to all your friends about it. First, I started with all your friends from back in high school, but they all turned me down because they said you weren't their friend. What? Now that I think about it, you were always hanging out with me back then, right? And when in school, you only ever talked with me and not to anyone else. That was because I felt bad for you being all alone. I wanted to make you feel a bit better by treating you as a friend. So stop trying to make it sound like I didn't have any other friends back then besides you, please. And I thought the same thing at first myself. And that's why I started to ask everyone from our class back in high school. But every single one of them told me they weren't close to you at all. They would all say that the only friend you ever had was me. I was the only person that ever seemed okay with talking to you, apparently. What? These are all things that I was told by the people I asked from high school. And to make things even more awkward, some of them wanted to talk with and hang out with me, but every time they tried to come up and speak, you'd get in the way. You would always get in their faces and tell them to leave me alone, which left them feeling like they could never come up to me. And they also told me that any time they'd try and talk with you, you'd just roll your eyes at them and walk away. That never happened. I was never that kind of a person back then. Unlike a shy person like yourself, I had tons of friends and still do. And that is why I went back even further and tried talking to people that went to middle school with you. What? But they all said the exact same things to me. They all said you were never their friend and that they had nothing else to say about you. Some even told me that you always sat alone in the classroom and never went up to anyone asking to be friends. You're lying, right? You went and talked with all of those people from back in middle school, too? And let's not forget about those that you went to college with. I was able to manage finding people that you were in the same classes with and same clubs with. What? They all regarded you as the lonely-looking student. Some said that you were so shy that you were kind of like a ghost that just floated around the campus all the time. Seems like you're more like me than you thought. The same me that you would say has no friends and is a gloomy person. Then, don't you compare me to you. I am nothing like you at all. Tell me, what makes you different from me then? Just like me, you don't have any friends, right? You're just like me, being so shy that the only friend you could make was another person, just like you, right? And that is why you had to hire people to come to your wedding as extras today to play the part of being your friend. No, wait, all in order to fool your fiancé today, right? I was originally going to tell him that I didn't have the resources needed to make the video for you today and that it was all my fault. But since you just kicked me out of your wedding like that, I no longer feel the need to lie like that for you. If anything, I'm going to tell him the truth before I take off. I'll say that I couldn't find any of these friends you were talking about, and then I'll let him know that you hired too many extras to be at your wedding today, and that's why you kicked me out. Please don't say anything useless like that to him. He still thinks that I have all these friends and that I'm a very outgoing person. I was not able to do the one thing Eddie asked me to do for him. I need to apologize for that and tell him the full and honest reason as to why. With that, congrats on the wedding. I hope you feel happy with all these extras celebrating you today instead of the only friend you ever had.
Just a second ago, I received your message from the staff. They told me you couldn't finish the surprise video. All because you weren't able to find any of the friends that Gabby was talking about before? What's going on here? Is it true that all of her guests here today are paid extras?
That's right, every single one of them. Gabby was just trying to make herself look good by saying she had all those friends. But in reality, she's just like myself, being a rather introverted person who was too shy to really talk with anyone at all.
No way. She was always bragging to me about how she had all these friends. She would show me all these presents she'd get from her friends on her birthday, and would leave all the time to go out to dinner with them.
I'm pretty sure that all of those were lies too. I really tried my best to search for her friends, but not even the people she works with would call her one.
No way.
But her not having that many friends isn't a bad thing, is it? So could you please not blame her for that? I'm going to put my phone down now.
Hold on a second, Lacey. Can I ask you one more question before you go? Is Gabby really your friend? Rather, she treats you as a really good friend of hers, right?
As far as I'm aware, she's a very close friend of mine. Ever since high school, we've been very close and always hung out.
Then, could you please tell me what you think of Gabby as her friend? I don't think her not having many friends is a bad thing. Not at all, actually. But the fact that she lied to me about all of it has really shocked me. Even going as far as to get a bunch of paid extras together for the wedding today. I've lost a lot of faith in her all of a sudden.
I don't blame you after she lied to you as much as she did. And when it comes to how I view her, of course I enjoyed a lot of memories with her in the past as a friend. But there have also been a lot of memories of her where she'd speak poorly about me.
What?
She would say things about how if she were never around, I'd be hopeless, and things about how, unlike her, I was a really gloomy loser. All sorts of terrible things came out of her mouth aimed at me. She's the kind of person that enjoys talking highly of herself while treating everyone else around her like they're worthless without her. And she's also the kind of person that doesn't feel sorry at all for kicking their only friend out of their wedding.
Thank you for being so upfront about all that. I was worried about hearing a lot of those things. But after having heard them, I feel a lot better. I'm so sorry about what's happened today. As her fiancé, I promise to make this all up to you later. I think I need to go and have a word with Gabby now about all of this.
Don't worry about me, and go have that chat with her, please. I'll be going now. How could you do all of this to me? Because of you, yesterday was the worst day of my life. In the end, my wedding was canceled, and my fiancé said he was going to rethink making me his wife. In other words, it sounds like Eddie will be breaking up with you then? He's going to stop working on those papers for your marriage, right? He told me he can't trust a woman who is fine with lying so much about herself, and he said it was insane of me to pay for all those extras to come and act like my friends. Things would have gone a lot better if you had never made those lies about having a bunch of friends. What's wrong with not having a lot of friends anyway? If I didn't have a lot of friends, he would have never wanted to go out with me, though. Unlike me, he actually has a ton of friends because he's popular. And on his days off, he's always going out with all his friends because he's just that outgoing of a guy. In order to get him to like me, I had to act like I was just as popular as him. You were just trying to make yourself look good then. Eddie never cared about the amount of friends people like you had, yet you went and lied anyway about having all those friends and taking it all way too far. And the outcome of that is your current state. Shut up, Lacey. Don't you dare start preaching to me, you gloomy loser. Now, you listen here. This is all happening because you opened your mouth about it. Having my wedding canceled on me and my fiancé wanting to leave me are both your fault. You take responsibility for all of this right now. Good point. Then allow me to take responsibility by cutting ties to you now. What? Goodbye forever, Gabby. I promise to never mess with your lies ever again. I know this may still not be enough, but I'm sure that over time you can make up some new lies without me having to get in the way. Wait a second, please. If you cut ties to me and stop being my friend, you're going to be all alone. You are just like me, having no friends at all and being too shy to make any others, right? And that's where you're wrong, because that was the me of the past. I'm totally different from back then. I happen to have quite a few friends now. What did you say? Back in school, I was very shy, and you were my only friend. But when we graduated from high school, I went out of state for college, right? At that time, I gained a lot more confidence and started to talk to all kinds of people. Because of that, I made plenty of friends and a lot of people that I can share my hobbies with. I think I have around 15 friends now who I'm close to. No way. You're lying, right? A gloomy loser like you has friends? Yet to me, you're all I have. Why do you get to have other friends besides me? Goodbye now, Gabby. You and I are still pretty young, and it would be really sad to spend the rest of your life all alone. I pray that one day you'll find yourself a new friend as well. No, don't go. Wait, Lacey, don't cut ties to me like you're saying. I'm asking you to please keep me around as your friend forever. After that, the talks about getting married with Eddie ended for Gabby after he went to her house and got the engagement ring back from her with his parents. Of course, she cried for him not to leave her, but ultimately, there was nothing else she could do, as both of her parents had already spoken with Eddie, planning this whole thing out. And because the wedding had to be canceled due to her lies, Eddie asked that she pay for everything from the wedding itself to the cancellation fees. And as for those extras being paid, Gabby's plan was to use that $5,000 from me to do just that. But having not gotten that money from me, she was left with 15 very upset extras that would soon get the money they asked for from putting her even further in debt. Not too long after that, Gabby started to message me some more, asking for us to get back together and for me to never leave her again. But I never responded to any one of her pleas towards me and left every single one of them on read, and will continue to do so. Although, to be honest, I'm better off just blocking her, as I did say I'd take responsibility for her wedding by leaving her life forever, so... According to all the rumors I've heard about her life a few weeks after everything, besides leaving her place to go to work, she never goes out of the house. And a lot of her coworkers have told me about how she'll come into work these days talking to herself about how nobody wants to be her friend, and that she'll continue to lock herself inside her room until the end of time. Many of them seemed a bit worried about those kinds of things that she says and have already started complaining to HR about it all, asking that she be helped. But who really knows for sure if there is any way to help her now, besides sending her to therapy to try and get her to open up and socialize a little. Thank you for watching and listening. We hope you enjoyed the video. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe. Also, feel free to leave a comment about what you thought of the story. We look forward to seeing you at the next story. Hey there. I hope I got the right number. Is this Stan's older sister? I wanted to introduce myself. My name's Kendra. I'm Stan's fiance. Oh, hi there, Kendra. I'm glad I finally got the chance to talk to you. Yeah, you've got the right number. My name's Stacy. If I recall correctly, you just dropped by my parents' house with your parents to introduce them, didn't you? I'm really sorry I missed that. I wanted to come and meet you and your family, but my company dropped a last-minute trip out of the state on me that I couldn't get out of. Oh yeah, your parents told me all about that. It was really great news. I get it. You're one of those people who like sarcastic jokes, huh? Sorry, that one went over my head. I wasn't joking. Is that a continuation of the joke, or... No, I'm not joking. I'm really glad you weren't there. It's for the best that we don't meet. So you don't need to feel bad about anything. Okay, this is probably the weirdest first conversation I have ever had with a person in my life. Would you mind explaining why you don't want to meet me? Oh, of course. I'm glad you asked. So I have some super deep-seated trauma with men, right? When I was in high school, I went on my first date ever with a boy, and the very next day, he was sitting with my best friend at lunch. Oh, wow. I'm sorry to hear that. It must have been traumatic for you. So he was never serious about you after all? No, he actually was serious. I found out later that he and my best friend were actually cousins, but I only found that out after I had already dumped him and sent him messages around the school saying he was a boring date and a bad kisser. That event was so traumatic for me that I can't bear to see my romantic partners being friendly with any other women, even family members. You spread false rumors about him over a misunderstanding, but you are the one with deep-seated trauma? Yeah, that's exactly right. I'm glad you understand. Right. Well, you know that me and Stan are brother and sister, right? Are you telling me that you don't even want me to have pleasant conversations with him? Stacy, I am so glad that you understand my trauma so well. I heard from your parents that you and Stan are really close. Is that right? Yeah. I presume that's a problem for you? Yep. A big problem. I can't bear to see Stan being friendlier with other women in his family than he is with me. Uh-huh. Again, Stacy, I cannot tell you enough how much I appreciate you understanding my trauma. So I actually had a request to make of you. I would really appreciate it if you could never see Stan again. And not just in person. You can't text him either. I wasn't too thrilled with compromising this much with him, but I decided to be the bigger person and allow him 10 texts per month with your mom. So if there's ever something you want to tell Stan, you can tell it to your mom and have her contact Stan for you. Oh, and if her 10 texts are already used up, you'll have to go through me. Granted, depending on the content, I may or may not deliver the message to him. You understand, right? Let me see if I have this straight. You want me to never contact my own brother directly? Ever again? Yep, that's right. If I found out you were contacting him, that would really trigger my deep-seated trauma. Right. Look, Kendra, as much as I want to start off our relationship on the right foot, I'm afraid that is not a request that I'll be able to abide by. I understand you have this trauma thing, and I'll do my best to be considerate of you, but restricting which of Stan's family members he can contact? I'm sorry, but that's utterly ridiculous. Stacy, how could you say that to me? I thought you understood my trauma. Are you really going to ignore the deep-seated trauma I have and contact your brother against my wishes? Do you want me to have a panic attack? What if my panic attack causes a heart attack? Are you trying to kill me? What the, kill you? I also have to say that I am very disappointed in the weakness of your sibling relationship with Stan. What? Me wanting the ability to talk to my own brother is a weakness to you? Obviously, if you truly had a strong familial bond, then you wouldn't need to have direct contact with him. Just knowing that he was well taken care of by a fantastic woman who loves him more than anyone else should be enough. But you're disregarding my trauma and threatening my life by meeting with your brother, all because of your own insecurities. You trashed a high school boy's reputation over your misconception, but I'm the one who's insecure? All I'm doing is laying down boundaries. You don't get to determine how and when I contact my own brother just because you're marrying him. Don't victim shame me. I'm the one setting boundaries to cope with my deep-seated trauma. Stop using that term. You use it every 5 frickin' seconds. I will not give you another warning, Stacy. I am his fiancé and I have deep-seated trauma. You will never meet in person with your brother ever again. And if you want to send him a message, then you must either go through me or your mother. That is final. Stan, we need to talk.
We do?
Yes, and it's about your fiancé. Are you sure you want to marry her? Like, really sure?
Well, I did propose to her. I thought that would make my intentions clear. Can I ask what brings this on? Did something happen between you two? You were really happy for me when I first told you I was getting married.
Yeah, I was, but that was before I actually interacted with her. Kendra just texted me a few minutes ago.
Oh, she did?
Yeah, and what she said was shocking, to say the least.
Well, what did she say?
She told me to never speak to you again. She told me this insane story about her deep-seated trauma, but it didn't make any sense. I mean, she expects me to believe that she was traumatized over an incident from high school in which she ruined a boy's reputation for no reason.
Oh, yeah, she told me about that a while back too.
So you knew? Stan, I understand that this is the woman that you proposed to, but I feel like I need to say this is your sister. She seems like she is genuinely unwell.
I'm really sorry that she said that to you. Also, thank you for your concern. It means a lot that you would trust me enough to be so direct like that. Now, in Kendra's defense, based on my experience with her, I don't think she's unwell. I think she just worries too much sometimes.
You sound like you're not too surprised that she would tell me never to speak to you again.
Well, I guess you can say she's done something like this before. Not to blow my own horn, but I've always had a lot of friends, right?
Yeah, ever since you were a kid, you always had a huge circle of friends. You've been bringing them around the house for years now, but I still don't even remember most of their names. Even after you went to college, any free time you weren't studying, you were spending with friends.
Right, that's something that doesn't really sit too well with Kendra.
She doesn't like that you have friends?
It's not that. It's just that she's kind of the opposite type of person. She'd rather just have a few super close people that she knows really well than have a bunch of friends like me. So she can't comprehend my relationship with my friends. You know what I mean? I can't remember how many times she's gotten mad at me for spending a Saturday with my friends instead of her.
Wow, that must have been difficult for you.
Actually, that's the main reason I decided to marry her. Once she's my wife, I'm positive that she'll settle down a bit with the jealousy. I mean, what better way there is to prove my devotion to her than to vow to be there for her for the rest of my life? She won't have a reason to be jealous of my friends or family anymore.
I guess you've put quite a bit of thought into this, Stan. Okay, if that's how strongly you feel about her, then I'll respect your decision. You're right, she'll probably loosen up a little bit after your wedding.
Thanks for understanding, Stacy. So yeah, in the meantime, I wouldn't take anything she says about cutting off contact with me too seriously. I'll have her apologize to you at an appropriate time in the future. Though she shouldn't have said that to you.
Alright, that's fine. You can take your time. I'm in no rush for an apology. You take good care of Kendra then, got it? And try to hold off on making any new friends for a while.
Oh, do I have to? Alright, guess the next time I'll see you will probably be at our wedding, huh? I can't wait for you to meet Kendra in person.
Kendra, what is wrong with you? You came up from behind me and punched me in the back of the head. Oh, you're awake. I'm glad to hear that. How are you feeling? Think I'm feeling? My head frickin' hurts. You punched me so hard that I passed out. They had to call an ambulance to take me to the hospital. Oh my goodness, they took you to the hospital? Yeah, you knocked me unconscious. They want to do a CT scan to make sure I don't have any internal bleeding. But you can cut it with the pleasantries, Kendra. You put me in the hospital. Now explain yourself. I hadn't even been at the wedding for a half hour when suddenly I felt a sharp pain in the back of my head, and the next thing I know, I'm on the floor looking at the ceiling. Why did you do that to me? Don't you remember the last time we spoke? It was my deep-seated trauma. Oh great, not this again. I walked into the room and saw a woman I'd never met talking to Stan, and all the memories of my pain and misery in high school came rushing back. I was sure that you were actually Stan's mistress and had come to break up the wedding. All the shame and rage and sorrow welled up inside me, and I started seeing red. My body started moving on autopilot. I grabbed the nearest heavy object and bashed you over the head with it. You don't seem like you regret anything at all. You haven't even said you're sorry. But I didn't do anything wrong. It was all a big misunderstanding. I would have never hit you if I knew you were Stan's sister. It was all my trauma's fault. You don't think you did anything wrong? You hit me so hard I lost consciousness. You're not going to evade responsibility for that just because of your supposed trauma. And what the hell? You saw a woman talking to Stan, and the first thing that came to your mind was Stan's having an affair with her? First of all, it is not supposed trauma, it is real trauma. I I will not allow you to deny my lived experiences. Second, you knew about my deep-seated trauma, and still you violated the boundaries that I set for you. How could you be so insensitive? I believe that I deserve an apology for your flagrant disregard for my emotional well-being and safety. This is completely insane. Insane? That's ableist language. Screw you. You could have actually killed me just now. What was it that you hit me with anyway? A rock or something? No, just an empty vase. Oh, excuse me, it was just an empty vase. You expect me to apologize for violating your psychotic boundaries, but you don't think you need to apologize for a literal assault? Not a chance. I am the one who deserves an apology here, not you. What? How dare you? I went through the emotional labor of confiding in you about my lived experiences and deep-seated trauma, and you're still victim-shaming me? Are you intentionally fitting as many psychobabble nonsense words into your sentences as grammatically possible? You knew it was traumatic for me to see Stan talking to other women. I clearly laid down my boundaries for you, and you violated them on what was supposed to be the happiest day of my life. Therefore, it is only right that you apologize to me and promise that you will never violate my boundaries again. I swear, it's like your only source of vocabulary is the chapter on trauma of a psychology textbook written by a teacher's aide. How can you possibly be playing the victim right now? Because I am the victim. Wow. You know, Kendra, when you first texted me, I thought you were a complete psycho. But now, I don't think I went far enough. You are far worse than just a run-of-the-mill psycho. You need to be locked up in an institution. That is more than enough ableist language out of you, Stacy. There is no room in my life or Stan's life for such a bigoted person as you are. I am marrying your brother today, and you will never see him again.
I wouldn't be so sure of that if I were you.
Huh?
Kendra, do you honestly believe that you haven't done anything wrong? I've taken the liberty of reading the conversation that you and Stacy just had. And to be quite honest, that really is how you feel, then I'm not sure I can do this anymore. I'm sorry, Kendra, but this wedding is canceled.
What? Wait a minute. Stacy? Or... oh no. Stan, is that you?
Looks like you finally caught on. Didn't you notice that he disappeared from the wedding chapel the moment that Stacy got taken away in the ambulance? That's because I went to the hospital with her. The wedding is canceled and our relationship is over. I'm breaking up with you. So no, you will not be marrying me today, or any other day.
Stan, no, you can't do this to me. You said you were gonna marry me. You said you didn't want me to have to worry about losing you anymore. You said that I was the most important person in the world to you. So how could you cancel our wedding and break up with me? Was that all just a lie?
No, Kendra, I meant every single word I ever said to you. I proposed to you because I loved you. I accepted your past, your jealousy, your controlling nature, all of that. Because I thought I could help you heal the damage that your past has done to you. I thought if I could show you that you didn't need to worry about losing me, that you could overcome your trauma and start looking towards the future rather than the past. I believed that right up until this very morning. Not only have my dedicated displays of love to you not helped heal your trauma, it almost feels like you've gotten worse. Kendra, you assaulted my sister. You hit her in the back of the head with a vase.
But I thought she was your mistress. What did you expect me to do?
That's it right there. That's exactly my point. You trust me so little that you immediately assumed that I was cheating on you. I can't marry anyone who doesn't trust me.
Stan...
I've done everything you ever asked me to do, Kendra. I erased all my female friends from college from my phone for you. I never went to any party or gathering where other women were present. I loved you and wanted to spend my life with you, so I was willing to make sacrifices for you. And after all of that, you go and assault my sister?
But Stan, it was all a simple misunderstanding. I didn't mean to hit your sister.
So you admit that you generally thought I was cheating on you?
Yeah, but just for a second.
Even 1 second is too long, don't you get that? You have no idea how much it hurts to know that the woman I pledged my love to doesn't even trust me.
That's not true. It's not that I don't trust you. It's just that, oh, you're such an amazing guy. You're handsome, funny, hardworking. I always felt that you were out of my league. I was terrified of losing you.
And so you bashed my sister over the head with a vase? I don't know how I can make this any clearer to you, Kendra. You've gone too far. Your trauma has completely taken over you. So much so that you were willing to assault a person you didn't know within a few seconds of seeing them for the first time. I had no idea you're such a violent person.
I'm not a violent person. That's not fair. This is the first time I've ever done anything like this. Don't talk about me like I'm always going around and hitting random people wherever I go.
First time? Huh, that's a lie. You're not just controlling and violent. You're a liar too.
What are you talking about? I'm not lying.
When I got to the hospital with Stacy, I just so happened to see a friend of mine who I invited to the wedding. He told me he was walking downtown this morning when all of a sudden, someone came up from behind him and pushed him down the stairs. That was you, wasn't it?
Oh, don't be ridiculous. Why would I do a thing like that?
He also told me that he had been receiving a ton of texts from you lately. Multiple times a day, telling him to stay away from me. But right after he got taken to the hospital, the text stopped. He was so terrified that he hadn't even spoken to the police about it yet. He thought for sure you would either go after him again or take it out on me.
I can explain.
Don't bother. I don't want to hear it. Just like with Stacy, you're lucky that he wasn't seriously hurt, and that it doesn't appear that there'll be any lasting impacts to his health. Are you going to stand there and say you did all that for me? Even if that's true, I don't want any part of your psychosis. I mean it, Kendra, we're through.
Stan, please, can't we talk about this?
The only thing we're going to talk about from here on out is how you're going to be held responsible for what you did to Stacy and my friend.
What do you mean? What are you going to do to me?
I'm going to make you pay. Simple as that. You've only ever been on my good side up until now, so you may not realize this. But while I pride myself in being generous and forgiving to my family and friends, I show absolutely no mercy to anyone else who crosses me.
Stan, do not do this. I'll apologize for everything, okay? I'll go to Stacy and your friend's hospital rooms and I'll tell them I'm sorry. So please don't break up with me. I'm sorry I let my trauma get the best of me. If you could just work with me a little longer, I'm sure I'll overcome it in no time.
Again with the trauma nonsense. Are you ever going to give that up? Anyway, I've already compromised more than I should here for your sake. I'm not doing it anymore. You can sort out your trauma issues on your own now.
Stacy, what am I gonna do? Stan says he's gonna break up with me. He hasn't been back to our apartment since yesterday, and he just sent his lawyer over with a demand that I move out within 24 hours. I don't want to break up with him. I don't want to move out. Please, Stacy, you have to help me. In case you've forgotten, I am currently in a hospital bed recovering from the injuries that I sustained when you assaulted me. I had to get 3 stitches in the back of my head, which may not seem like a lot, but they are really, really uncomfortable. That's in addition to the splitting headache I still have. So if you want help moving out, you're gonna have to ask someone else. That's not what I meant. I want you to talk to Stan and tell him not to break up with me. I love Stan. I need him. Well, he doesn't love or need you, so I don't know what you want me to do about it. You put 2 people in the hospital on the day of your wedding. Do you really think Stan would stay with you after that? And that's not even considering the fact that you've been cheating on him. What? He told you about that? He sure did. After you assaulted us yesterday, he went to find all the evidence he could of your harassment campaigns towards me and his friends. He found all the evidence he needed of that, but also a few other pieces of evidence. It seems like every time I think my opinion of you couldn't possibly get any lower, you go and prove me wrong. Stop victim shaming me! It's not my fault I had to cheat on him. Oh, for the love of God, Kendra, don't tell me this is because of your trauma, too. He never respected any of my boundaries. I told him not to see his friends anymore, and he told me that he was fine with that, but then what did I find out? He was still seeing them in secret at least once a month. He crushed my heart and ripped open the wounds left by that boy in high school. I lost control. I felt so violated and abused, I had no choice but to cause him some of the same trauma that he caused me. So every time he went out with me and his friends, I went out with another man. He did this to me. It's all his fault. That boy didn't cause you any trauma, Kendra. What you're actually feeling is shame. Stop victim shaming me. He was the victim, you idiot, not you. All he did was talk to his cousin, and you ruined his reputation because of it. Then, when you realized the truth, you were overcome with shame over the viciously evil thing you did to him. That's why you invented your trauma narrative. To shut out your feelings of shame over realizing that you're just an impulsive, jealous, vindictive, and stupid woman. No, you're wrong. It was his fault for not telling me that my best friend was his cousin, just like it's Stan's fault for not telling me you were his sister. It was Stan's friend's fault for not respecting the boundaries I set for him. That's another thing. You don't just get to use the word boundaries to make other people do whatever you want. Look, I understand that maybe I went a teensy bit overboard, but it's all because I love Stan so much. I don't want to lose him. So please, I am begging you, give me another chance. We can call your family and Stan's friends together and have a discussion on what new boundaries we can set for you guys. Boundaries that we all agree on. You still don't feel like you've done anything wrong, do you? I realize that some people who are less understanding of the trauma I've been through may view my actions as inappropriate. Yes. Yeah, that settles it. You don't think you've done anything wrong. You go through all these mental gymnastics to interpret what happens in a way that removes any responsibility from yourself. Well, I'd say it's high time someone forced you to take some responsibility. And it looks like that responsibility falls to me. You may not think that you've done anything wrong, but I'd bet a year's worth of my salary that a judge and jury will have a different view of things. What are you saying? Are you gonna sue me? Did Stan ever tell you what it was I do for a living? No. I'm a lawyer. Oh, no. Oh, yes. Do you have any idea how much money I'm losing every day I'm stuck here in this godforsaken hospital? You're going to compensate me for my lost wages and much more. I've also decided to take up Stan's friend's case against you as well, pro bono. Please don't do that, Stacy. I'm already on the hook for a ton of money from the canceled wedding. If you sue me on top of that, I'll be ruined. Yeah? And how is that my problem? You don't seem to be aware of what sort of position you're in right now. You have successfully driven away the only person in this entire world who would have had pity on you, so don't expect any from me. We'll talk more once I'm out of the hospital. I suggest you start figuring out how to come up with a lot of money very soon. The first thing I did after getting out of the hospital was putting together a police report for both myself and Stan's friend. She was granted a speedy trial and found guilty on all counts. My next order of business was suing her for the costs of the wedding, hospital bills, and lost wages, which added up to around $50,000 in total. She went to her parents and begged them for help, so they agreed to loan her what she needed. Paying that back, however, is not going to be easy for a woman with a criminal record like her. I hope she takes this opportunity to learn that her trauma card isn't going to get her very far in this world.
Thank you for watching till the end. If you felt good about this video, like the video. If you didn't like it, let me know why in the comments. Subscribe too. Your likes and subs lead to our motivation. We have so many videos on our channel as well, so go ahead and take a look. See you in the next video.
From the sounds of it, within a few more months, I'll be due for my first promotion within the company. And the promotion will put me as the lead manager for the team that works with that woman's CEO dad.